Good morning. For my knowledge, values, and skills, I split each section up into a different video. Let's begin with the values. I believe through my experience at Brookside School that I display all the values from the NSAW. Let's begin with service. Service states that social workers draw on knowledge, values, and skills to help people in need address social problems. How I did that was when I was emailed through Michelle to get access to a weighted vest for a student that needed it outside of school. How I was able to do this was I emailed several resources, including Autism Speaks, and was able to find the answer that it was through their insurance and through several non-for-profit organizations that were able to reduce the price of weighted vests and weighted blankets. The next value I display is social justice, which states, social workers pursue social change particularly on behalf of vulnerable and oppressed individuals and groups. How I do this is through my literature review of toilet training. Through my research, I realized that the population of children with developmental disabilities and potty training was really ignored. Thus, I decided to make a toilet training manual for the parents at Brookside School to give them guidelines and advice to toilet train their children to make them eligible for general education at the next level wherever district they decide to go. The next of the values of the NASW is dignity and worth of the person. The NSAW suggests social workers treat each person in a caring and respectful fashion, mindful of individual difference and cultural and ethnicity. How I do this is I realize in phone conversations that all people are different and we must address their problems differently. Obviously, coming from Jersey in a well-off community, I have not experienced the same experience as someone from Kingston or Allenville. Thus, I have to meet the person where they're at and realize that maybe they weren't given the opportunity to learn that we have to sign our kids up for the bus and don't realize this. So being respectful and not assuming anything that they're a bad parent or something, which they're not, because they didn't sign their kid up for busing, is important. Thus, whenever I answer the phone, I'm very, very respectful and open to all questions because there is not such thing as a bad question. The next value from the NSAW that I display at Brookside is the importance of human relationships. How I display this is by giving the kids the options. Not a lot of times kids are given options, but I like to do that at school. Usually, a lesson plan has strict guidelines. Do this, then this. I don't like that. So I give them two options that would display something that they need to improve on throughout their IEP and give them the option because they are the leaders in their experience. And it is important to let them lead the session because then they're going to be more engaged in what they're doing. The last one is competence. Striving to increase their professional knowledge. How I do this is not only do I listen to Michelle, but I've had days where I got to see the OT, PT, and even be in the classroom so I can use their strategies in adaptive play therapy because everybody adds something different to the table. Even the aides who do not have degrees, I respect their opinion and often ask them questions about how I can improve my experience within play therapy by asking them. And that's where I get the most improvement because I'm able to ask all the people around them, not just the professionals. So I know if a child loves Pokemon and has a specific Pokemon that they love, like Mudkip, I can involve that into my play therapy by playing the Pokemon song or taking in my personal Pokemon cards. And that's why I love the value of competency because we are learners And as social workers, we value everybody. So I love that Michelle takes professional development days because I get to learn from them. And we discussed even me going to a professional development program where I got to learn the resources, which is something I don't really know being from Jersey. So I really appreciate all the values that I've learned, and I thank Michelle, and I thank you, Dr. Dill, for giving me this opportunity.